All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the June Outturn preview tasting 2024, of course. Coming off of the exciting month of May with all of our festival releases. We're coming back with some heavy hitters, though. Joining me, Lynn. Introduce yourself.
Howdy, I'm Lynn Guini. How are you? The perfect man in the world.
I don't know about that, but I'm making bread tonight, so.
Yeah. And then he makes it for Jen. He's so thoughtful. Everybody, he is officially the most perfect human being ever.
She will be tuning in at some point tonight. She won't be here right at the beginning, but she'll be here.
All
Let's see. Christine Daisy is tuning in. Joe Combs, Carl Zager, Duke McHale, Warren Buff, Chris Weiscarver, Ryan Shaw, LaCurious George, my favorite name of them all.
Yes. Super awesome.
The thumbnail may be a little misleading. It says there's 10 new casks, which there are. We are not reviewing all 10 casks. We're reviewing 6, though, so that's 60%. 60% of the whiskeys. And even though we had, like I talked about or hit on the May festival releases, May is a big time of the year. We've got some heavy hitters tonight and a couple surprises, I suppose you could say. U.S. exclusives. So.
All right.
Let's see here. Hoyt Hemphill tuning in now, 3H Hemp. All right. What else we got going? Do we got anything else to talk about?
Well, yes, go. You go.
You brought up one thing before we went live, so I'll let you talk about that one real quick.
Are we talking about the 53 one?
No, the mid-month.
Oh, yes. Just an announcement. We will not be doing any mid-Outturn reviews. And,
well, I would just say temporarily.
Temporarily.
Yeah. For the next few months. No mid-month Outturn preview tasting on YouTube. So you'll just get us at the beginning of the month. That's the best time.
Yeah. I'd be bummed because I won't get to see Scott as much because I'm his unofficial resident stalker/fan.
And by stalker, she means she joins me on live streams.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Praveen is tuning in. Praveen Mahida. Talked to several people that tune in that we talked to on the phone.
Yes.
All right, let's get down to, I've got 2 track pads here. I keep going to the wrong one. First whiskey of the night. Make sure I've got the right one here. I do. And Lynn, do you want to introduce it from the banner there?
Sure. We got a Society Cask number 48.155. Spicy and sweet profile. And this is called That's Real Swell. It's an 8-year at 60.5% and aged in a first fill barrel. $95.
That's a rare one right there, hitting the sub $100 mark. And come on, camera.
It's zooming in on your muscles instead of.
All right, it doesn't want to focus tonight.
Yeah, just
the color really about what you'd expect for 8-year-old first fill barrel. There we go. Now it adjusted. Adjusted to that. So really about what you'd expect on a first fill 8-year-old. Starting to pick up some little bit richer, more darker hues, but lightly colored, honeyed hue, you would say. And a honeyed malty. Honeycomb.
Yeah.
Trying to narrow some other. I mean, there's several things going on here.
I get papaya on the nose. Mangoes drizzled with. It's gonna sound weird. No, I'm not gonna say it. Just
What? No,
No.
say it.
No, I think it's inaccurate. So I take it back.
Yeah, some slight. Oh, there's a little bit of a nuttiness. The spicy is here as well, though. Kind of a white pepper, fresh ground spice.
Yes.
A little bit of cinnamon.
All right.
Some berries. All right, going in on the palate.
Alrighty.
Cheers.
Cheers. I get like a cross between a subtle hoppy beer and a stout beer meshed into one with a little spice. And then cashew orgeat on the finish and top notes of cayenne pepper. And then orange marmalade.
I like all of that. Yes. Really rich and really fruity for an 8-year-old. Developed really nice. Well, I like the cashew nut. There is a nuttiness, almost a little bit of a tobacco as well. Definitely displaying like it's older than 8 years old. There was a nice key lime pie kind of note, coconut cream pie. Probably some of that papaya tropical note you were getting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a little hint of that honey graham cracker on the finish.
Yeah. Toasted I'd say with some toasted coconut on it.
Yeah. A little paste.
That's really a really nice development. And actually, that's a nice developed palate for an 8-year-old. And for an 8-year-old to hit the spicy and sweet, definitely deserving here. You know, we see a lot of our 8-year-olds being, young and sprightly, light and delicate, something like that. But it's maybe sweet, fruity, mellow. Ooh, all right. We added some citrus and some vanilla with water.
Okay. Oh, let me add that. It becomes a little bit spicier to me, but then much more malty forward. And almost, not quite, but like an aftertaste of a Sauterne wine or some kind of white wine. It's like not crazy sweet. There's like an essence to it, like an aftertaste of like some type of white wine.
I agree, and I could see that. I could almost think it was finished. I think there's a little bit of a mustiness on the finish with the water now. Kind of that Sauterne type musty note.
I get like cedar wood and the aroma when you walk into like a spot that carries cigars. What do they call it? A humidor room?
Yeah, a humidor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, humid tobacco leaf. Musty. Yeah.
Top notes of mint for me. A little bit. Spearmint.
Wow. I mean, I'll stick with, there's a little bit of a tobacco, a little bit of a leather note almost. Really making it feel older than it is. Yeah, that's a very nice palate, very rich, a lot of depth, great finish on that one. Blind would never believe that was 8 years old.
Yeah, I think if I had it blind, I would have assumed it was finished in some kind of wine cask based on that kind of spiciness and that cedar wood profile.
Yeah, cedar, almost sandalwood type note. I was just trying to remember what's the Japanese Mizunara oak. will impart those sandalwood notes.
Yes.
Sometimes, or should. Yeah, almost a little bit of a Mizunara hint. Sandalwood. Very nice. Let's see what we get for tasting notes on the bottle. 48.155. That's real swell. Sharp gooseberry and elderflower jam were followed diluted by fruits of the forest ice cream sundae. Yeah, berries, chocolate, ice cream, fruity, flowers. Very nice indeed.
I want to know what ice cream sundaes they're eating over there. Okay.
All right. Now, really moving on to a little gem. Bumped up into our tasting order because of we want to start with the lighter profiles, move to the heavier ones. We're jumping into a 20-year-old, though, and this one is really exceptional from the samplings that I've had of it so far.
So this is Society Cask number 19.97 under the Juicy Oak and Vanilla, and it's called Enigma Variation. A 20-year in a first fill barrel. Ooh, I missed the proof on this one.
54.5.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, black label. So tasting panel felt that this one was one of those exceptional casks, not quite moving it into the Vaults collection, but in between our white label and Vaults collection releases. And it really shines on the palate. This is a great look. Probably one of the best Distillery 19s I've had.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, we've had several over the last couple of years.
All right.
Oh, and color. Really similar to the 8-year-old. Doesn't feel like this was a very active cask. It was first fill ex-bourbon. But yeah, really kind of a light hue. So to me indicates wasn't a very active cask and not a lot of cask influence. We're going to get a good look, I think, at Distillery 19 here.
Okay.
Like, the juicy oak and vanilla profile here. This one has turned tropical.
I love the aroma of this because this feels like some type of summer pastry dessert, like some peach, a little bit of a fruit tart.
I got to pour a little back in. I got too much in there. I can't smell it as good as I should be able to.
And a little bit of coconut flakes here.
Coconut, tropical fruits.
Definitely that peach jam on the nose.
Ooh.
Honey graham crackers.
Melons. Ooh. Boy, it's kind of hot on the nose. I just burned my nose there with it a little bit. What's our ABV on this one? Oh, this was a 54.5.
Yeah.
Smells a little hotter. A little bit of spiciness, like cinnamon, nutmeg spices, cooking spices, not peppery.
All right.
Chocolate and caramels.
Definitely milk chocolate in the nose, and then that's interesting. I didn't get a burn from this. I got like a little bit more of that alcohol burn on the first one.
Wow.
Definitely get more honey graham crackers for me. Some corn flakes. All right.
Citrusy, light oak, light fruits. Ooh, spicy, cooking, baking spices again, spicy. All right. The juicy oak and vanilla here as well. And palate. Cheers.
Cheers. So I think that this one has an essence of peach and honey. It's not assertive like our G9.7 that we had a few months back. but there's like an essence of that. And then just on the finish, it gets a little bit dry. You got a hint of graphite and melon, and then almonds, like almond croissants. Peach jam laced with honey.
I saw a recipe the other day online for a white chocolate banana cream pie.
Ooh.
And that's what's hitting my mind with this one. It just harkened me right back to that recipe. I like your peaches and peach cobbler on this one, the fresh baked croissants, coconut, mandarin oranges, those really kind of tart, tangy oranges. Oh yeah. No, yeah. Ooh.
I just get a slight finish of orange cough syrup. Only because I've been sick for 6 months, Scott, and I've just been juicing out on those, so that's very familiar with me.
Strawberry cheesecake. We're getting a lot of different kind of desserts on this one, like the peach cobblers, the white chocolate banana cream pie, strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Fresh whipped cream. It's creamy. This has a great finish on it. Great palate. I think the 20 years here is very nice on this. We're getting into those tropical notes. Some melons, watermelon.
What's the bulk flavor profile that you get from this, or do you feel like it transitions quite a bit?
I would actually go juicy oak and vanilla is good. I think this could almost be sweet. It's got almost a mashup, but with sweet, fruity, mellow as well. But I think that 20 years is really helping this on that finish and helping it just with the mouthfeel. It's very viscous as well. I mean, it soaks in, coats your mouth. I'm gonna put a drop of water on it.
All right.
I don't want to. It's very good neat. 54.5%, and it's good.
I think it sweetens up a bit rather than having that peach jam or like that essence of peach. There's more of like a simple syrup profile, and then a little bit of marshmallows, meringue, coconut, vanilla cream on the finish.
I like all the different pies and the different desserts. You can really find them because there's so many of those kind of stoned fruits, tropical fruits.
Yeah.
All the fresh baked, pie crust or croissants or wafers, graham crackers.
I'm like eating my way through the pastry store. Like my friend just told me, you're going to get diabetes soon for sure. So I down some toffee cookies earlier. So
turned it water a little bit more malty almost, or even astringent. Maybe bring out a little bit of the oak. It's white chocolate on
a little bit more water, it gets drier to me.
Yeah.
With initially with 3 drops, it was sweeter. And then now with more, I can see the oakiness coming out. And then cocoa nibs, dark cocoa nibs.
Or like a cocoa powder. Something. I've got some dark chocolate, cocoa dusted truffles.
Yes.
In the fridge. Yeah. Wow. With a strawberry on it, maybe a little bit of a strawberry or a raspberry glaze reduction.
Oh, I bet you make that too.
I'd try.
Of course. Captain Perfect. That's what I'm going to call you for. Christine
says that these live streams always make her hungry. I don't know why. Yeah, that one's, man, That one's a hidden gem kind of in the lineup. But I mean, being the black label, the 20 years, maybe it isn't. Maybe, I mean, it's really doing what people would expect. Mm-hmm. And I do believe I'm going to stand by. I think that's probably the best Distillery 19 bottle that I've had.
Awesome.
So it's a really nice. That's an easy sipper though. I mean, it's not a deep rich in dried fruits. It's not peated, so it doesn't really have that punch, but it's just one of those that after dinner or you're sitting around in the evening and it's quiet, maybe reading a book, and you're just sipping on that. And that's that smooth jazz drink. And speaking of smooth jazz, Jimmy Jazz is here.
Hello, Jimmy Jazz.
George Kaplan is tuning in as well.
Yeah.
I talked to George today on the phone.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think this is a really nice summer dram because it picks up those essence of peach and orange.
Yep. Although that going to Dairy Queen in the summertime and getting that banana split with the strawberries and the bananas and pineapples on it, chocolate. Cask 19.97, Enigma variation. Tart and sweet, apricot flan, golden sultanas, tinned mandarins with custard, plus some enigmatic toasted oak. Yeah. That's the tasting notes on the bottle. That's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not disappointing at all. That's a sleeper hit right there.
Oh, got it. Now we're moving on to cask number 68.105.
Hold on. I don't even have the banner up yet.
Oh.
There we go. 68.105.
All right. We got mulchy. What?
Musty mulchy.
Mulchy? Man.
It's mulch. I don't know if it's the same in the UK. Mulch, when you mulch your lawn with the leaves and everything, it just kind of mulches it. Creates a barrier to hold in humidity. That means the same thing in the UK for musty mulchy.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I'm born here in the US, but surprisingly, there's things I can't say. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your English skills. Okay, so we got a 15-year, 57.4% ABV in our first full cask. Even though it says musty, I can rest assure you it's not body sweat at the gym. It's more like, and I know because I study jiu-jitsu, guys. I'm terrible at it. Sorry.
Oh, hold on. Lost my paper. Got bend over, clear to the floor. Color on this one, and this is a double cask maturation. So I did not look up our time frames on this one, Lynn. Do you have that? How long? This was ex-bourbon hogshead, and then Oloroso hogshead.
Okay, let me double check just to make sure.
I'm gonna guess 12 and 3.
That's my guess too.
And really, I think by the color, you're seeing some pretty decent, cask influence there.
All right. Okie dokie.
Ooh.
12 years in ex-bourbon and then transferred to a first fill Spanish Oloroso hogshead.
Nice. Yep. 12 and 3, 57.4%. A beautiful, rich, dark tobacco nose, dark fruits. A little dry. I think this one has one of those, if you like Oloroso, this is one of those kind of classic Oloroso noses. Spicy, dry, oak, toasted notes.
I get mashup of jam, like raspberry, blueberries, that kind of thing on the nose. Earlier when I had it, it had the aroma of like dusted library books, but now it's just opening up with oxygen, and it's like a nice acai bowl. Have you ever had that, Scott?
Yep, I've got some acai in my freezer. I make a smoothie every once in a while with it. Dragon fruit and acai.
Yeah, that's
Yogurt, put some Greek yogurt in it and some green matcha tea powder.
Yeah, that's why you're so buff, Scott. Okay. It's really nice on the nose. I'm enjoying it.
You know, I hate to go back to bananas again, but bananas Foster.
Oh, okay.
When it's in the pan and it's got they light it on fire and they're stirring it all up.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're kind of getting that heat and the bananas and the liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mainly get more raspberry here.
Dark cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like Luxardo cherry.
Mm-hmm. Get a little bit of baking spices, but that's
right.
Free. Okay. Cheers. Mm. Wow. Cocoa nibs, a little bit of black peppercorn spice, but dark cherries too is what I get. And then finishes off on like a subtle hint of sunflower seeds.
Dark chocolate with the dark cherries on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm. It's amazing how like just 3 years, how much the Spanish oak takes over.
Oh yeah, very active cask.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, it's like 90% dark chocolate.
Dried cinnamon powder, like those cinnamon sticks that you'd use to bake with or to make, but in the drink with the stick of cinnamon in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying. Okay, savoriness, meatiness, more Italian meats. I think here, kind of almost that prosciutto type ham and salami, peppered with the peppercorns.
Mm. Mm.
Little bit of a bold cheese, not a blue cheese or a Stilton, just a nice aged cheddar.
Okay. I gotta pour more. I'm not getting any of that. I don't get the charcuterie board cheese or meats. My tongue's busted.
Dark fruits for sure. I haven't got anything that's been like, oh, there's the dates. Oh, there's the plums.
Mm-hmm. I get figs on this one.
The dark sweetness or the dark fruitiness is in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rich, charred, oaky notes. Slight tobacco, slight leather.
I feel like the tannin comes out with water.
All right.
There's that dryness on the mouth, and then it goes from persimmon to just a little bit of orange and just a touch of honey, but like just the essence of it. The mouthfeel definitely is dry, and it's like got a little bit of a cherry marzipan almond cake.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of cloves here. Scott, I'm failing. I'm on the third one and I feel it. I'm going to get more ridiculous. And then you're holy cow, Lynn.
All right, that's it, people. We're out.
Yeah.
That's got like a like milk dud, chocolates had the caramel chocolate, but like almost like on a spigot on a campfire, like it's toasted. Milk duds, nutty. Oh yeah, this is with water. Yeah, nuttiness coming out now. More of the chocolate showing.
I get those like candied oranges covered in chocolate with water.
Great finish on this one. Hanging around. I would just put a second round of water on this. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Honey becomes more prominent, and then just a hint of cayenne pepper, I think. Interesting. Very fun.
Cherry, more of the cherry, Luxardo cherry showing, making a little bit more sweet, peppery. This was good, neat. It was good with one round of water. Let's go with 2 rounds of water. This one you can really kind of play with.
Yeah.
Really watered with those double maturations and 15 years of age. The water should really start to allow some of those notes to kind of play off of each other.
Yeah. This is a fun one. I like this one.
Ooh. All right. Let's do tasty notes on the bottle.
Yes.
$68.105 Musty Mulchy. A lovely and classic style from this cask. Darkly fruity, damply earthy, and mulchy, with abundant nut, chocolate, and rancio notes. Indeed. I'm still digging the finish on that one.
Yeah. This is a really fun one. As you said, it's very versatile, and there's a lot to play with here. So.
Little palate cleanser. Don't mean to crunch into the microphone.
But you can do no wrong. Don't need to apologize here. You should do whatever you want.
All right.
Okay. So we are now moving into cask number 85.82. Bringing abundance, another Dirtif, deep, rich, and dried fruits, 56.3%. And this is a 16-year, 13 years in an ex-bourbon cask, and then 3 years in a PX cask.
This is one of my favorite tastings. I mean, we're 4 whiskeys in, and we've had 2 Dirtifs. Yeah. So some slightly different statistics here with this one. It's a year older, 16 years, and then Pedro Jimenez instead of Oloroso. And what was our time frame on this one? Do you have that handy?
Time frame?
For the double maturation, how much hogshead and how much?
3 years in an ex-bourbon cask and 3 years in a Pedro Jimenez cask.
13 and 3. All right. Oh, and
so a total of 16 years. Look at that.
This one, let me look at it next to the other one. Before I went to the white paper, this one looked a little darker than the previous one. But with the paper up, it looks a little lighter. Let's see if we can tell from what I have left. Oh yeah, it is. It's darker. Not much. A shade or 2 darker than the 15-year, the 68, the musty mulchy. So bringing abundance is a little bit darker.
Yes. Okay.
Syrupy sweetness.
Ooh. Orange cream. A little bit of spice on the nose.
Yeah. For sure.
Marmalade.
Actually, nose is almost real similar. No, you go side by side and you can see it. Yeah, the syrupy, fruity sweetness on the 85, 82.
There's like a pear syrup nose. Like if you make pear and you cook it down with a little bit of honey, that's what I get.
Ooh. Nice. Do you do that?
Yeah. Not often, but I always turn it into alcohol. Like I make a cocktail.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Oh boy.
This one rich and fruity and sweet.
Yeah.
Dark. I mean, it's dark fruits again, but more berry-ish. Fruit basket berries, spicy cinnamons, not spicy pepper, spicy baked spices.
Yeah, just more butter and graham crackers, which is what I eat on a daily basis.
Browned butter.
Oh yes, brown butter.
Brown butter, and then some cinnamon and brown sugar sprinkled into it.
Yep, I was just gonna say sugar. I'm gonna start drinking this. This is too good.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Ma'am, as much influence on the one prior to this, the 68 105. Is that right? Yeah. And much, that was a first fill Oloroso, had a lot of influence. This one, first fill Pedro Jimenez, more influence here. This one, very active cask, really hits you up front. Just that syrupy, rich. It's not overly sweet, almost like some dehydrated type, like you've taken those raspberries and the blackberries and you've dehydrated them. Maybe even a little bit of the Oloroso, kind of the prunes and the raisins here, but they're dehydrated. Good, rich, sweet. That brown butter with the cinnamon and brown sugar poured over your pears that were soaked in the honey.
Yeah, it's definitely jammy, which I would anticipate in an ex-bourbon cask, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't have as much of that kind of maraschino cherry you'd find in like the 42.85, the Umami Mania. I think this one to me has more of that kind of honey, green grape sweetness to it, and a little bit of coconut shavings. So I enjoyed this one. More milk chocolate, a little bit of like cola syrup tiramisu on the finish. White chocolate.
Tobacco juice, sweet. If you smoke cigars, there's these their Acid is the brand, and then they make several different versions, but Cubas are these different, they soak the tobacco leaves in different things that are really sweet. It's almost this really sweet tobacco juice. Reminds me of those Acid Cubas.
To me, that's kind of also reminds me of an entremet, which is the fancy word of like a layered mousse, where you have some milk chocolate and white chocolate, mocha happening in layers. Are you adding water now?
I did. I just added a drop, and you talking to mocha reminded me of a mocha peppermint, which I have. Yeah. Jen was just here, and she had a chapstick that was a mocha peppermint.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good makeout session right there.
I wasn't going to say that, but
I had to go there.
It's bringing back memories. Peppermint mocha.
Oh, Jen's. Oh, yay. So,
hello, peppermint mocha.
I feel like the party starts when Jen logs on. What a baby.
She's been here. She's just been in the background. She hasn't had a need to comment yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with a drop of water. Let's see.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Tiramisu.
Mm.
Tiramisu, dusted cocoa powder on tiramisu. And
Nuttiness, tobacco, that sweet tobacco juice, cigar leaf, cigar wrapper, fruit, dark fruits, jams, those fruits dehydrated, spicy. This is a stunning stunner.
yeah. I would say there's a subtle hint of graphite to kind of round out the drink. So there's a lot of that kind of sweetness that comes into play, but just a little bit of that graphite oakiness to make it complex. So this is a fun one for me.
What do you mean by graphite? You used that before.
Like when you take a number 2 pencil and you shave it, that kind of roll comes through.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, I do a lot of drawings back in the day, so I'm always sniffing pencils.
Did you go? Were you sniffing Sharpies too?
I probably come off like I sniff Sharpies, but I don't. Or sniff other things. See, I was just born kind of weird, I guess. My mama dropped me, Scott.
All right, with a little bit more water.
Oh, okay.
Now, remember, Lynn, we still got 2 more whiskeys.
Oh, it's too late. I'm deep in the hole. I already told you. I told everyone you made out with Jen with her cherry chopstick. Little tongue rustle action. Anyways, sorry.
I like this one neat. This is good with a round of water. It's good with 2 rounds of water. And feel free to play with it, of course, here. Maybe a little bit too much water on mine. I liked it better before. Great notes here, and great. There's more cask influence here, I think, than there was on the 68-105 with the first fill Oloroso. This one first fill Pedro Jimenez. A lot of influence here. Let's look at tasting notes on the bottle. 85.82, bringing abundance. Gorgeously syrupy, sweet, easygoing stylings abound here. Let me redo that. Gorgeously syrupy, sweet, easygoing stylings abound here. It's richly fruity with a perfect unctuous rancio aspect. Lush. Very nice. Yep. Both of those, if you like Oloroso, 68-105, great example. If you like Pedro Jimenez, 85.82, great example of Pedro Jimenez influence. Again, though, so the society this year, remember, 2024 is expanding our wine cask, sherry cask influence offerings. Generally, we're around 30% of our casks are wine influenced, sherry influenced. This year in 24, they've doubled that. We're into the 60-some percentile of our whiskeys are going to have some sort of a wine cask, sherry cask influence on them. And of course, continuing that, 2 great examples there. And we're getting ready to go into a third one.
All right.
And again, this is my kind of tasting because, it's another Dirtiff.
Yes.
3 Dirtiffs? Are you crazy?
That's right. This month was made for you, for sure.
This one's a little bit different. Boom, right there's the banner.
Oh, righty.
So this is Distillery 53.
Done.
It is peated. Our tasting panel did put it into deep, rich, and dried fruits. There is a lot of sherry influence on this one. There is still peat as well. If you are peat adverse, this one's not going to sway you over, I don't think. But Yeah, probably, and it's probably one of the most, if not the most, sherried peated whiskey that I've had.
Yeah, this is 9 years in an ex-bourbon and 4 years in a Spanish Oloroso cask.
Not yet, 9 and 4, and it's I want to say it's first fill. Yeah, first fill ex Oloroso too. So 9 years ex bourbon, 4 years Oloroso. A lot. I'm way behind here. I'm doing too much talking. Let me.
Wow, that last whiskey's still lingering. Get pistachio cream now. Ooh.
All right, I'm get my lid up because I poured this for color.
Okay.
And I'm going to put some back in the bottle here because I'm not going to drink all of this one. Again, though, really similar to the other two. It looks like by color, and it's a little darker. My light's pretty bright against that white background. If I go there with it, you can see. Yeah, there you go. That's probably a little bit more better representation of this whiskey. This here whiskey.
All right.
Just to show you next to here's the 8582, the one we did before, next to the Kalila. I mean the Distillery 53.
This has nothing to do with whiskey, but since I'm drunk now, I mean not drunk, but pleasantly buzzed. Scott, Bruno, you have amazing model hands. I just very perfect. So versatile. You can do so much with you as a human being, a professional baker, a number one boyfriend. I mean, what can't you do, Scott?
Like the bear that walked into the bar and he said, "Bartender, I'd like a gin and tonic." And the bartender said, "What's with the big paws?" And the bear goes, "Oh, what, these?" I was born with them.
Look at that hand model. We have a new second side hustle career for sure. Oh my goodness, you gotta stop, Scott. Those things should be on only.
Woo! Pete was. I just raised this one up. Pete's the first thing out of the glass at me. So, like I said, this is probably the most sherry. You get a lot of sherry notes on this, but you also get peat. The peat is present. If you are peat averse, this one's probably not for you. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting whiskey here, 53.468 in our deep, rich, and dried fruits profile.
So on the nose, I get like that beef bouillon kind of aroma, smoke, cheddar cheese.
George is asking, did Scott just pour back into the bottle? Yes, I did. I poured for color, and I was like, I'm going to leave this open because I'm pouring some back into it because I'm not going to drink all this one for sure. So I do like to have a hefty pour just to show color. And it was a clean glass. There was no backwash.
I really enjoy the nose on this.
Yeah, this is one earthy, really that Isla peat that we like. Earthy, peaty, rich sweetness. Little bit of that Distillery 53 peanutty, roasted boardwalk, salty. Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Beef jerky aroma, a little Slim Jim action.
Yep. Snap into a Slim Jim.
It's so good. I'm gonna miss you in 2 weeks. I'm so sad there's no mid-Outturn. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna have a sip.
Yep. Cheers.
Undertones of dark chocolate. This sounds like an oxymoronic statement because I'm a little bit of a moron, but it has a clean smoke and it reminds me of Japanese charcoal. They use this thing called, I'm going to mispronounce it, bincho-chan. So it's not ashy, but it's almost kind of like mesquite wood, but not really. It's a really meaty, clean smoke to me is what I get.
So this one, yeah, here's so before I had a little bit of the charcuterie, the prosciutto hams, 68 105. This one though is more. This is more grilled, smoked, red meats like brisket, nutty. I mean, smoked nuts, rich, glazed with a honey barbecue glaze as it's smoked.
I like that description for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That honey barbecue smoke. Just that kind of sweetness I would find on like a petit four. That like powdered sugar glaze kind of feel to it too. And then the saltiness lingers, which to me is like a classic Distillery 53 profile.
I'm going to back off. I'm going to go from from like the smoked brisket on this one. I don't think it's that meaty. This is a smoked ham. I'm going down. Yeah. I mean, this is the whole hog, even at the Hawaiian barbecue, when the whole hog, they pull it out of the ground, wrapped in the banana leaves. Ooh. Very nice.
Yeah. Sounds like you're ready to go on vacation to Hawaii with Jen.
We are going on vacation to Colorado.
Oh, nice.
That's a long ways from Hawaii, but I just had last week or 2 weeks ago. It was a like a pulled pork that was wrapped in the banana leaves. And in mole sauce.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good. Smoked pulled pork in a mole sauce and steamed in banana leaves. That was good.
Sounds amazing.
But I mean, how do you feel about, like, when I say this is one of the most sherried, peated whiskeys I've had? What's your thoughts on that?
I can see that, but when I taste it, even though it's finished in the Oloroso, I would have mistaken it for a PX cask.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I interpret Oloroso, I tend to see it drier, like lots of tannins and peppercorn spice. This one has that mesquite wood sweetness that comes into play.
Yeah.
So
now the thing is, though, when you take something though that's really peated, I have a hard time distinguishing Oloroso or Pedro Jimenez. You know, if it's in there, if it's peated, I can tell you it's sherry influence. I mean, like, you get those dark notes and you get all this rich sweetness that we're getting here. But yeah, even I think I would have a hard time saying, oh, that's Oloroso, or oh, that's Pedro Jimenez. But I can tell you, it's just good.
Yeah, I think the ex bourbon cask also plays a huge influence here in kind of sweetening it up, because even though there's a little bit of that mesquite wood profile, there's just a hint of that like thin glaze of honey that pulls away from that like saltiness of that meat or that pork that you mentioned. But yeah, this is like summer barbecue.
Yep. Barbecue sauce, grilled pineapples on that ham. That hog is roasted, soaked in pineapple. There's barbecue sauce, hickory, mesquite smoked, brown sugars. All right, water.
More water. So now the tannins come out. I can feel that kind of dryness that comes into play with water. It's not as salty now. I get a hint of that char, and I don't get that briny influence here. So more slight ashy smoke.
That's just, it's too much. It's liquid peanut butter chocolate cups. in a dark fruit cocktail. Raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, balsamic vinegar glaze.
Oh boy. Yeah, I can see that.
Smoked, meaty, nutty, tobaccos, rich. Goodness. All right.
Really nice. I'm a huge fan of this one for sure.
Yes. Oh, name to this one too. Step Forward Inhabitant.
Yes.
Said that. Which I don't know where that's from. I was going to look it up. It's got to be a movie quote. I'm leading Blade Runner, but I don't think so because we've had Blade Runner before. Anybody watching? Step Forward Inhabitant.
I feel like I gotta Google this.
Yep. I meant to do that. I forgot all about it. This is a U.S. exclusive as well. Every bottle of this came to the United States, 274 of them. And tasting notes on the bottle: increasingly rich and viscous as treacle collides with coal dust on a wood-fired pizza base before enjoying a clear salinity and delectable finish. 56.3%. Yeah. Well, to me, what would be interesting is go back 2 years to Distillery 53 released Dark Secret, which was a 9-year-old, maybe an 11-year-old, but it was finished in a second fill, if I remember right, second fill Oloroso. And so you just had slight hints of Oloroso influence. What would be neat is to take that and compare it, which I'm out of it because I drank it all because it was so good. Dark Secrets compared to this one being in that first fill Oloroso, really having that heavy impact of those Oloroso notes. That'd be neat to see the two differences there. Did you Google that one?
I did, and nothing popped up as like a movie reference.
Step Forward Inhabitant.
Yep, nothing. Ooh, you're checking. You're such a manly man. Even when you type, it feels like success and winning and victory. It's like boop, 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 boop.
Oh, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know where they would get Step Forward Inhabitant from.
Yep. Nothing I know.
Okay, so I don't feel so bad because I'm really consider myself a movie quote expert, and I didn't know that one. All right. Okay. And sixth and final whiskey.
Oh, you didn't read the description to this one.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Huh?
Oh. Yeah. Whoops, guys. Just kidding.
All right. It's time for a little palate cleanser, though.
Okay. Man.
I debated switching up that one, the Distillery 53, and the last one, but the last one's going to hold its own here. We've moved up in age anyway.
Right. We've got cask number 66.249, labeled under Old and Dignified, Happily Ever After, 25-year and 53.5% ABV, and then refill ex-bourbon casks. Look at that. Again,
our black label, so our tasting panel has felt this one was an exceptional cask, bumped it up there in between our white label and Vaults collection releases. So what I like with this one, 25 years, strictly refill ex-bourbon hogshead. So what you would expect here, light cask influence. And hold on. Keep throwing my paper down there all the way to the floor. I bend over too far. Get too old.
Go off your guns. What's this? Wow.
George, you're going to see me pour some back in here. I poured this for color. I'm not going to drink all of this. "25 years refill X bourbon." I mean, really, it's a lighter color. And that's why I say I think we're going to get very little cask influence, a lot of distillate character here. And without the paper, you can see, I mean, it's lighter. So great. I mean, it's an interesting color for 25 years old.
Yeah. I think the aroma on here has got like caramelized bell pepper or some type of pepper jam here. And then just a sprinkle of salt. I'll wait for you here.
Maybe a serrano pepper.
Mm.
You're thinking bell pepper, but maybe like a mild. Oh,
A faint hint of Iberico cheese. I mean, Iberico ham.
this is old books. This is Dusty Library. Sweet.
Red grapes, salt, meats. Okay. I'm just going to drink this.
Yeah. It's time for Lynn to get on.
Maybe that's why we're not doing mid-Outturn. Turn into hot.
So, I mean, this is, and go ahead. Yeah, take a sip. This is a Highland Distillery 66 peat. Where is it on the nose? Were you getting peat on the nose?
It's subtle. I get more of that meatiness, like a salty meat versus a smoke.
It's going to be on the palate, I know, but I don't know. I'm looking for it on the nose right now. But yeah, let's see.
This is quite interesting because earlier in the day when I was sampling this, I tried the 85.82 and then I tried this one and I got smoked haddock and bonito flakes. And but in this case, after trying Distillery 53, it's totally different.
I like the smoked haddock. I'd go with the smoked whitefish for sure. Definitely a bit. It's a lighter peat. It's 25 years. You know, keep in mind your peat diminishes over time. So the older the whiskey gets, the lower the peat is in it. I love this refill X bourbon hogshead on this one. I really think this is a delicately matured, you know, peated Highland whiskey that sat there for 25 years. Let's just look and see. That was distilled October of 97. So let's see. I can remember where I was in 97.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Well, I was just about to get promoted to detective with the police department. And I was working with a street level narcotics and gang enforcement section.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that was a long time ago.
I was in elementary school, Scott. Just picking my nose and figuring out basic arithmetics. Interesting.
I can remember when I left. I got on the police department in 1993. When I retired in 2021, I was working with kids that weren't even born yet when I started.
You were working with what?
Kids.
Oh.
Youngins. Utes.
You hold your own, Scott. You're not old. Maybe. You saw your model hands, and then when you pick up your white pepper, and there was guns on top of guns. It was out of control. This really, Jen's landed the jackpot, the multi-billion jackpot.
Jen and I, if you don't know, Jen and I were high school sweethearts that we went our own separate ways in life and had our own families. And both were divorced and rekindled
Oh my
the
God.
relationship.
I love it. It's a
Yeah.
Hallmark Channel life story. I'm into it. I support this union. I hope you get puppies. Not just one puppy, but maybe two. Chocolate labs, pit bulls. Oh, sorry, back to the whiskey. I'm just
Multitasking is Charlie. I work with Charlie. Actually, he knows me from the police department. He says Scott is nothing if he's not a hand model. Me and Chad Richardson, right? Right, Charlie? Yeah. We had a 25-year distillery 66 within the last year, 6 months, 8 months ago. I think this one is noticeably better. I think I really like this refill hogshead on this one in that 25 years. I really think it's just turned this into a gorgeous, nice whiskey.
Yeah. I remember sampling the one from months ago, and this one I enjoy more. Definitely get a little bit of applewood smoke, and then it transitions into this kind of milk chocolate smoky profile. So it's really, really fun. Almost like a hint of spice too, but there's honey going on. So
yeah, Chad Burnett. Sorry about that. Not Chad Richardson. Chad Burnett. But Charlie knew who I was talking about. That was the point. Yeah, toasted honeycomb here. A little bit of a tropical. I was getting a little bit of a pina colada, almost like a pineapple coconut type drink.
I get tahini, right? It's
tahini.
Like sesame jam kind of.
Tahini. No, yeah, tahini is sesame seed.
Yeah. That's what I get. This is a fun one, drizzled with honey. So this is great. Oh, I'm gonna give myself a little.
Tahini is the Mexican seasoning of chili powder and lime.
Really?
Yeah. Tahini is the ground sesame seed.
Oh yes. Tahini. Yes.
Yeah. Tahini, good on a margarita.
Yes.
Tahini, good in hummus.
You can make hummus too. Damn it, Scott. They need to make like a replica of you in California, so then I can just creep up on them.
Jen was gonna go. She was like, "I need to go to the store and get some hummus," and I'm like, "Just make it." And she's like, "Well, how do you make it?" So I told her. She did. Now that's all she does. She makes it all the time.
Oh wow! Do you put sumac in it or something?
Sumac? I do have. I have not. Sometimes I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So not only does Scott make bread, he makes hummus.
Yeah.
What a dream. What a dream. Okay. With water. Jen's going to beat me up because I'm always like creeping.
Yeah, she's keeping an eye on you.
Sorry, Jen. Good thing I live in California. Just kidding. I wouldn't do such a thing. I respect this sacred union of high school sweethearts reconnecting.
All right, with water, smoother, lighter, more berries.
Peanut sauce in like a
peanut sauce
Thai dish is what I get.
And
then
yeah, very nice. I think I like that one neat, maybe a little bit of water. Too much here. It's not near as good. Pete's still showing 25 years. Refill ex-bourbon hogshead on that one. That's just turned it into a great example from Distillery 66.
Yeah, super fun one.
Tasty notes from the bottle. 66.249, happily ever after. Never judge a book by its cover. A fairy tale of winter wonderland, a wisp of smoke, chimichurri steak, and grilled lobster tails awaits you.
Oh,
Yeah, like we were getting the smoked, whitefish. So
yeah. Yeah. What's that? Sometimes there's like a Hawaiian fish where it's kind of sweet. It's not yellowtail, but something where there's like a thin glaze of honey and I can't remember. But it sounds like the description is like it's describing you and Jen's romance, which I'm all for it. Jen.
me too.
Yes. I want Jen to be here in the beginning. She always shows up a little bit later, and the party starts when she starts commenting.
All right. Well, these whiskeys will all be available tomorrow. Oh, this one was a U.S. exclusive as well. U.S. exclusive as well, if I didn't mention that. The Distillery 53.468 before this, also a U.S. exclusive. This one, the 66.249, there are 217 bottles of. So very nice. 2 casks there that only the U.S. is getting.
Good stuff. I'm into this.
And Jen says you can start the party, Lynn.
That's not true. Jen's perfect. She's got a great sense of humor. She's witty. She's pretty special. Just like you, Scott.
And sorry, Duke, I don't have the screenshot. I forgot all about that. Let's go look and see what else is coming out tomorrow. Let's see. All right. There will be cask number 4.370 named Seashore Cinders. It's a 13-year-old from a first fill barrel. And swiping to quit, not there. Let's see. That is in the peated category. It'll be available for $160. We'll have cask 9.249, Delicate and Elegant. 13-year-old second fill barrel, light and delicate profile, $150. And 38.37, Hive in a Fantasy Playground. That's a 25-year-old. It'll be available for $650. Second fill barrel, sweet, fruity, and mellow profile. So just to show you the two differences there, we're just 66.249 that we just tasted, the last one in the lineup tonight. A 25-year-old lightly peated Highland in the old and dignified profile is available for $325. That's a steal. We didn't talk about that.
Yes.
To get a 25-year-old, that's a great example.
Yeah.
Great whiskey from Distillery 66, but $325 for a single cask, 25-year-old whiskey, great buy.
Yes.
Compare it to the 25-year-old Distillery 38.37 at $650. Just say, hey, 66.249. That's a great buy. 52.44. A Seaside Flavor Fest last night. We don't see too many Distillery 52s, and you can tell that by the 52.44. That's only the 44th cask that we've released from them. A 10-year-old, it'll be $125 from a first fill barrel, and it's in the young and sprightly profile. And I think that should be it. Yep, that's it until mid-month.
Yes.
And 4 casks will come out mid-month. But anyway, yep, so there's 6. There's the other 4 that'll come out tomorrow. Great whiskeys, again, following our great lineup, our great month of May with our festival releases. So.
And Scott, thanks for always being consistently awesome and amazing.
Same to you, Lynn.
Nope, I'm going to disagree with you on that. But when somebody signs up and calls in, they're like, I'm from Florida. I said, oh, you're going to get a treat meeting Scott in person.
Yeah, I talked to Barbara today, too. You remember talking to Barbara a while back?
Barbara's not enthusiastic about me, which is understandable because if I had a choice between me or Scott, it's Scott 1000%. She's like, oh, I miss Scott. I'm like, would you like to talk to him instead? She's like, no. So,
boom, boom, boom. Got her up. 7 bottles. Done.
Yeah, like for California, I move at like snail speed, because I just don't have a sense of urgency as a New Yorker. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks to everybody that tuned in. Appreciate it. Again, 1 p.m. tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. These bottles will be available. Watch your emails, smwsa.com, for more information about joining and becoming a member if you're not. So, Lynn, thank you for joining me. And as we say on the back of every bottle, remember, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society whiskeys are not for swigging, glugging, or knocking back. Please drink responsibly. Cheers.
Alrighty.
And we're ending. It's ending.